All right, because I'm a scientist and not a psychopath, this is day one of honest. I have to be honest and open, and it's embarrassing, so I just have to put that aside. And this is a bandage just because I just got back from the war. Um, there seems to be some type of, I'd say it's neurological, potentially adapted like defense mechanism to unfeminize my appearance. There's a movement, if you imagine like this, with my back and my legs, that feels naturally stable and increases my maneuverability. It's quite hard to get there because there's a lot of physical stuff and then there's a lot of mental blockages. What I just noticed is if I get to a certain point in that movement, I have quite a strong, strange feeling in the back of my head, and I have some type of memory of hitting my head very, very, very hard. There's like an initial hypothesis that I have that because when I was attacked, I was out and I was drinking, that perhaps, and I was kind of in a positive, I'd gotten rid of a lot of negative things to do with my brother dying and things like that. I've got a feeling that maybe I let some of that feminine whatever out and then was beaten to a fucking pulp because of it. It wasn't conscious. I always had kind of there would be this like playful little thing, but being that I was pretty drunk, not as drunk that I can't remember it. I remember pretty much everything up until that. But maybe there was a bit of that going on, and then I'm guessing I've gone into however long it is now, 12, 13 years of some type of hermit crab adaptive fucking concept, and then as I'm fixing that, it's opening up these other things. And then one weird thing is if I'm stretching and doing this thing to get my posture back, and I know what's right. I was a pretty good athlete. I was like, I know I can feel what is my body. Then the strange thing is if I'm doing that now and I look in the mirror, like I weirdly am like, oh, I'm not a fucking guy. That's a girl. I don't know whether that's like an overexposure to fucking female images or whether like it just feels like I resonate more with like female movement. It's very much a movement thing. You'll notice I'm not changing my voice. I can do kind of either. It's a fucking movement thing. It's a posture for me personally. And I think it kind of is quite nimble, so sometimes, and I get all the same things. Like right now, I feel, yeah, I'm like, I look ugly. I look like a fucking gross old man, which I do. Like, so that's strange as well. Yeah, I very much hate it. Not in a way like not as it's kind of. I don't hate it because I'm not in my feminine body with fake boobs. I'm like, no, I just hate that I'm fucking weird. But then I look around at how, say, other people have acted around me. I'm like, well, that's way worse. I'd rather be this than fucking that any day of the week. Yeah. The reason I'm sharing it is because there's obviously something going on. My guess is that it's people are being still massively discriminated against this, or just having accidents, or just all kinds of different things leading to head injuries, leading to this type of thing. And then, like always, there is a psychiatric fucking community that has answers to every single thing despite not experiencing any, and they're poking shit and provoking things. They're experimenting on children, which is absolutely fucking insane. The only thing I can imagine would have happened if I had have been traipsed around in a fucking dress as a child would have been that probably my head injury would have come earlier. These concepts that are being medicated and pushed by promotion media is absolutely irresponsible at the scale that it's being pushed. There is a fucking entire society in multiple countries to deal with multiple cultures, multiple backgrounds, multiple histories, multiple like hidden bigotry, hidden thing. And I'm not even calling it bigotry, it's very confusing. But making them little celebrities, you know what I mean? That's not going to fucking work either. You know what I mean? I'd hardly call myself a fucking celebrity, yet my family fucking treated my Instagram like it was, like I said, like it was fucking Melrose Place or something like that. They acted fucking disgustingly. Every single one of them, bar my children who are just victims of this bullshit. The size of the fucking attack I got and the size of the fucking head, the fact that not one person from my family ever even acknowledged anything to do with it, never was like, oh yeah, maybe you've got some type of fucking brain damage, Shannon. Nothing, not one fucking thing. This fucking cult of fucking medical intervention, mental health is absolutely fucking disgusting in every fucking arena. Whether I'm wearing a fucking thing that looks like a bra, or whether I'm fucking wearing brass knuckles and plowing your fucking shin in and your fucking desk, you cunts. That is the fucking truth. I'm not a fucking angry young man. I'm not a violent fucking young man. I'm an observant young man. I'm a dedicated young man that is trying to fix severe fucking disability, not fucking live off it. The story when I was a child was that if you were disabled, you were trying to overcome that. And look, some people can't. There's plenty of disabled people that can't. And we used to celebrate people that stoically did that, or they went out and above beyond what they did, and that was the thing. Not this fall in a big cushion of disability. If someone called me disabled, I would probably fucking punch them. I'm not fucking disabled. What do you expect happens when you incentivize disability? When people are paying their mortgages on providing services to the disabled, what on earth do you expect to happen? When you hide the entire infrastructure, the entire supply chain, the entire thing from top to bottom in a green card that fits in your wallet that Albo holds up, what do you fucking expect? When you perpetuate a class difference that is completely fictional, the only thing we're going to have a glut of is these medical professionals that are they're not professionals. They've been indoctrinated to sell products and services that have no regulation because they're not The world doesn't work like that. You can't just promote and advertise and do a PR campaign about dressing little boys as girls and sending them to school, sending them to public schools. What the fuck did you think you were doing? This is a case of a psychopathic fucking industry of psychiatrists and pharmaceutical that have gone out, found the most flamboyant fucking sexually oriented fucking people experiencing something maybe similar to mine. I don't know. Maybe some of these things are driven extremely by sex. But I can say mine isn't. It's nothing to do with it. I am quite a sexually open person, but it's not to do with that. In my mind, it actually limits me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? When I was a young man, I wasn't parading around in drag. I was a fucking player. I was a fucking, like a fuckboy or whatever the fuck you want to call it. There is 1,000 things going on here. There isn't some convenient little packaged fucking solution or answer to the whole thing. I can't say, oh, I have a head injury. That made me into a fucking girl, because it didn't. That was already there before that. Hidden and kind of packaged, and everyone's like, that's the problem. If you were just free to be able to just celebrate your fucking pranciness, everything would have been fine. Maybe, who the fuck knows? But not in the system, not in the family, if you want to fucking call that technical term. Not in the family I was fucking brought up in. I would have been paraded around like a fucking freak. Used to fucking appease some type of fucking narcissistic fucking weird thing that was treated, that was identified and treated. And that's not the cause either. Unless it is. Who knows? It's fucking complicated. All I can do is talk about what's going on, try and be as specific as possible, try and tap into things that are just happening. And this takes a long fucking time. I'm 10 years into trying to expose it. I still have no self-protection, no guarantee of protection against this industry. Because that's what it is. It's me, one person, you can call it victim of that fucking industry. Passive smoking, but way fucking worse. It's like if, when the bar staff were like, oh, we want people to stop smoking because we're passive smoking. It's like if you get a job at a bar and then they make you fucking, go home and sleep with a mask of fucking cigarettes on. I was raised by that fucking industry. I was thrown into a fucking experiment. Forcibly, in my opinion, forcibly taken off my father and forcibly thrown into some type of fucking socialist, fucking artsy, fucking wank fucking experiment to do with drugs. Concocted in some fucking yurt or some fucking teepee in someone's fucking LSD fucked up brain that had the right parents, so they went to the right fucking schools and they got the right fucking degrees so they could tell exactly everyone how fucking fucked in the head they are and how they need their pills. The drug dealers aren't riding Harleys in this fucking country. They never have been. The drug dealers in this country are in our fucking government They're in our fucking schools and they're fucking looking after our fucking children. My mother was paid a pension for the last 45 years. Had funding to create a distribution centre for propaganda for this industry. Has been celebrated and let out of fucking jail for every single disruptive act she has ever committed. She sat there and watched, knowing that I was walking around in fucking circles in a fucking house, a shed, converted into a house that I did myself for over a year. And any type of acknowledgement of it, there was nothing, not one fucking thing, because what do you expect from a fucking person that's been diagnosed? Like, there is the utopia where you let all the disruptive people out in the streets, you pay them and you give them drugs. I wonder why that didn't work. I really fucking wonder why that strategy didn't work. Get all the disruptive people. You're not allowed to call them disruptive. You have to celebrate them. You pay them and you give them drugs. And you let them fucking raise children. And then you give them the final little piece of saying that, hey, you're special and so is your child. He's almost guaranteed to be just as special as you. Are you fucking serious? Whatever back fucking section of whatever fucking corporate little fucking cave this was cooked up in needs to be fucking exterminated from the fucking face of the earth. They need to be dragged the fuck out of whatever fucking nursing home they're in and forced to sit trial for 40 fucking years of systemic fucking torture and abuse. Not the 5 years of Nazi Germany. 40 years of subversive attack on humanity that got us to the high water mark of a fucking, what was it, the fucking Grammys, with a fucking person parading a trans person around dressed as the devil, sponsored by a pharmaceutical company that was poisoning everyone in real fucking time. And that's not nothing against Sam Smith. He didn't know. He's probably a victim of this shit as well. Everyone is. It's like a big fucking freak show. They were so fucked up. That they're like, yeah, this is working. But as I said, I don't think they were. I think it was I think it was the fucking wet dream of the most psychopathic individuals on earth. And they've probably either blown their brains out, overdosed on their own fucking supply, whilst probably fucking children, like, on camera. Like, there's probably there's nothing they weren't hiding. It's all there. It'll be all fucking there. And then they're just probably dead. Like the Nazis. Like, if you knock on their door, they've got the cyanide pill in their mouth. They know what they've done. They know they're caught. But it's tied into so many nodes of self-protective entities that each one of them is protecting itself. With all its money, with all its fucking, effort, or concentrated effort of the entire corporation is protecting itself. That has linked itself to this other fucking thing that was just cooked up by some drug fucking nuts. It's bad. It's really fucking bad. I don't know personally whether it's better to be here, knowing it's bad, and just kind of, I'm in this weird thing where I'm like, righto, because I can see it. You're all going to start seeing it soon, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be like for all of you, especially if you participated in it. And there has to be so much leniency because, as I said, self-protective entities that just had this implanted in them and they were just protecting themselves, but because they made this move to align with the devil, basically, they're all exposed. I think there just needs to be some kind of like mass, I don't know, it's not like a book burning or something. There just needs to be like a walkout, like a 2-day grace period. You get to if you've got an office and you've got a psychiatrist and you're whatever, there's a 2-day grace period announced nationally, internationally hopefully, but fucking nationally at least. You get to walk out, you get to put your things in a box, and we will never come after you. Like, and then you, I guess you reskill and you learn how to do something else, learn how to fucking, I don't know, do anything that isn't with someone's mind. Everyone's mind is their mind, unless people are very, people are very destructive, very damaged, then they basically just need to be dealt with. All mental health should be voluntary, or, in extreme cases, dealt with, not fucking treated. If you can deal with them in a, civil kind of human way, the more you can kind of do that, then maybe there's a chance of some of them to come out of it. I don't know. But there's enough fucking influences with feel-good fucking things like to sink a ship. We don't need people that are paid extraordinary amounts of money to do something that is pseudoscience. They're not individual problems, they're societal. The problem with a little boy that thinks he's a girl isn't a problem with his mind. It's not a problem with his hormones. It's a problem with him not getting beaten to a pulp because people are still going to be people. That's the problem. There is some things with education and kind of exposure, I guess, if it's really at that level where we need that, we continue doing that, but don't fucking give it the whole package, because we don't know what the fuck's going on. There's probably 10 different fucking things going on. The most reassuring thing I have is that there's this level of kind of like I feel like I'm on this, I've stepped on this step and I'm like, right, I'm not dead. I feel okay, I feel balanced. I can see a type of future kind of in the front of me. I'm like feeling around in the dark. I'm like, yeah, alrighty, I think this is it. There isn't a step in front of me. There is just flat. There is flat ground. And that seems good because you're all coming along on that fucking journey up those fucking stairs. Probably in a real hurry. So yeah. I'll continue to update on my scientific findings, on my own self. That is the responsible way to do science. And I will reiterate and emphasize with extreme passion that I would pretty much rather be doing anything else on fucking earth than having to do this. And that it was completely out of my control to be put in this fucking thing. And that the amount of variables of externally introduced phenomenon into my fucking body, mind, environment is unacceptable. And that the only way I survived any of this is because of my father's humble, stoic, polite, gentle example and fucking nurturing, and also strict and like stern, all the, you know, rigid. Otherwise, I'd be fucking dancing around on a fucking pole or something right now. And that might, you know, help me sell some skincare products, but it's not gonna fucking do anything for science.